Coach, what'd you learn from the first spring scrimmage?
I learned we got some guys that love to compete. Um, we got a lot of guys, a lot of young guys got some reps. So as we continue to install and add to the package, we want guys to continue to execute the defense, and thought guys are working hard and competing.
Your guy, Seth McConnell, what's kind of showed you guys promise with him over the last year or so?
Yeah, said this is year 3 for him, third spring. A guy that benefited from coming in early, graduating high school early, and shown tremendous growth. Added about 20 pounds since he's been here. Leaned up, played a little bit last year, gained a lot of confidence. He's going to do well for us this year. He's doing a good job for us.
What have been for Traw some of the growth points from last spring, or even at the end of the season, to what you've seen early on now?
Yeah, T-Rob taking a lot of snaps, especially with the ones. For him, it's a challenge for him was to be more dynamic in the pass rush, to add value for the defense from that standpoint, especially at the nose tackle position. This past scrimmage and the last couple of practices, he's shown some tremendous growth in terms of rushing the passer and add some value that way.
How does that position and Johnny and Keith, like how does all that kind of work in tandem within what you guys want to do defensively?
Yeah, if we can continue to put some pressure on that pocket from the inside, especially on top of the quarterback through the center, that'll definitely free up some rushes on the outside. And against the run, if we can take up two guys in the inside with that position, that's always positive. T-Rod's doing a good job.
With this being the third spring here, and basically the third spring of this defensive philosophy, do you worry so much about install now in the spring, or is it just trying to get player development a little bit better? Because I know day one of fall camp, you're back to start square.
No, we don't worry. We just take it a day at a time, and we take the positives, we take the negatives, and we just take it as opportunities to get better each day. So.
With a chance to maybe see the younger defensive linemen in more live situations, just what did you, anything in particular you learned from those guys in the scrimmage?
Yeah, so Seth McConnell, he took a lot of reps for us. This past practice took 55 snaps. A guy like him, the more snaps he can get, the more confidence he can get from those snaps, more film, more opportunities to learn from his mistakes, to continue to build on things that he's doing well. You got Christian Lorenzo, a guy that's coming along for us as well, taking a lot of snaps as well for us. We put him in difficult positions, but he rises to the occasion, as is all those young guys. So we're really pleased with where they're at, but we understand there's 8 more opportunities to get better this spring.
As with T-Rob moving into maybe that primary nose tackle role, what have you seen from maybe RJ, Denzel, kind of to be the second or third guy there?
Yeah, if we were to step out there today, T-Rod's the first one to go out there, but there's constant competition at that position. Denzel Daxon is doing a nice job for us. He's stout against the run. He's learning the defense himself, being his first spring in the defense, but really pleased with where he's at. I want him to continue to keep coming along. He's after each practice, he wants to watch film. So we love that as coaches. I love that as his position coach, that he wants to get better. He wants to see where he can improve on, rushing the passer, hand placement, playing with a base, defeating double teams, and that's something that he's shown that he can do for us. RJ has been a guy that I've filled in multiple roles up front, not just that nose position, but also playing that 4-out position, 3 technique as well. He's doing some good stuff for us as well. So.
Keith has played a little bit of nose tackle in his career, not permanent, not full time, but is that an option for you too in the rotation?
Yeah, that's the thing that Keith brings to the table. Not only is he an all-down defensive lineman for us, but he's versatile. So he has the strength to play that nose position. He has the athleticism to play on the outside. So he's a guy who can plug and play at any position on the D-line, and that's something that Keith continues to bring to the table.
Obviously, Sed was the guy that you guys inherited when you got here with that kind of an awkward class for him. What were your first impressions of him, and what did you kind of see in his approach that let him just develop into this kind of rotational guy?
Yeah, first impressions of Sed, eager to learn, really a guy who wanted to be put in position to play, to one, practice and show what he can do, but also a guy that was really ready to play early, but had to understand that patience is definitely what pays off. You know, from a playing time standpoint, even from a production standpoint, and he's learned that, and he's been able to experience that.
You become more and more optimistic that I know it's hard to get Johnny and Keith off the field, but that they may not have to play 75, 80 snaps anymore with the depth that you have
Can
now.
you ask the question again? I'm sorry.
I know it's hard to get Johnny and Keith off the field at any point, but is there more optimism in your room now that you feel like we have bigger depth, that we don't have to play them 75, 80 snaps in a game?
Well, we're still developing depth. You know, Keith and Johnny are guys that we want to have for multiple situations in a game. But we definitely want to continue to build depth and develop guys. You know, the good news is we got guys that have played a lot of snaps for us, like Bryce Barnes. Excited where he is, and you know, excited for his season this fall as well.
The spring is always a busy time for recruiting. I know you can't talk in individual names, of course, but how's the feedback been from kids that have been visiting and from coaches that you've had here on campus?
Yeah, we just had a high school coaches clinic for the state of Illinois. A lot of the numbers increased from last year, and we hope that continues to happen. And we're excited as a staff, myself included, to get out in the Chicagoland area and other areas, to get out to the high school coaches and meet with them about their prospects and continue to build relationships. And this spring, that provides opportunity to bring more players on campus, to see practice, to see our facility, to see our campus, to meet with our staff, our head coach, and also meet some of our players. So this spring is a great opportunity, a great time for that. And you know, we want to continue to build those relationships and maintain those relationships.
I feel like we've asked you every which way about Johnny to this point. Is there anything left to say about him? Is there anything he does that is surprising? I mean, not to say he's like a complete player, but what's left to say about Johnny Newton?
Yeah, Johnny's special. You know, Johnny is he's everything. He's a coach's dream. You know, he's a tremendous football player. Brings energy and effort to every practice, but he's also a tremendous student. You know, he handles his business in the classroom. He's a father. You know, he's very responsible, and so he's a guy you want in your room, the guy you want leading your team. So.
We asked Aaron today, just with Devin, how that can permeate through his room. Is there a similar way Johnny and Keith and the energy, the way they go about it, can have long-term ramifications on some of those younger guys in your room?
Yeah, you know, those guys are up front for a reason, just because of their age, but also because of their experience, and because we want those guys to continue to lead the way and be example setters, and they've risen to that occasion. And you see it in the way that they prepare. You see it in how they train in the weight room. You see how they practice, how they take care of their bodies. So we want them to just continue to be the type of guys we want to develop into this program. And you know, there's some of the names that you've mentioned or asked me about. Those will be those guys down the line.